see my baby, she was in a nightgown. When I went to see my baby, she was on the ground. There was something in her voice, something I was sensing. There was something in her voice, something that was missing. Singing in her sleep and she was singing sadly. She was singing in her sleep and she was looking at me. There was something in her voice, something I was sensing. There was something in her voice, something that was missing. Pity opened up my heart and nothing could disguise her. She had sealed herself inside a body she could squeeze it. She had sealed herself inside and nobody could see in. Love is just a little lamb looking for a hunk of ham. Love is just a little lamb looking for a hunk of ham. Love is just a lonely lamb looking for a home, 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 home.
Hi, everybody.
It's me, Randy, singer from The Residents. And over here, we have my good friend Chuck on keyboards. And the one and only Bob on guitar. Now, I'm sure all of our longtime fans out there, you all remember that there were always four of us. Well, gosh, I'm sorry to say that Carlos has retired. After almost 40 years in the music business, Carlos decided that the rock and roll lifestyle was just not for him. So, Carlos went back to Mexico and he's taking care of his sick mom now. But he's still in our hearts. He's still in our hearts. We love you, Carlos. Great guy. Now, it's true we don't really miss those extended drum solos, but still, Carlos, great guy. All right, so we wanted to invite all of you people into our little living room here. And we're going to play a few songs for you and tell you a few stories. Now, some of these stories are kind of spooky. So, get ready. Here's the first one. It's called The Talking Light.
Uh-oh. Catch it. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Once, when I was a lonely teenager. 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 Once, when I was a lonely teenager.
Once when I was a lonely teenager, I was out walking by myself and wandered into an unfamiliar area. The land was badly eroded, and as I looked up a small ravine, I saw a little cottage that appeared to be deserted. I noticed a weathered piece of paper stuck to the door and became curious as to what it said. In large, shaking letters were the following words: "If you find my baby inside, please bury him." Startled, I took the note off the door and continued to read. Except for a small area around the baby bassinet in the center of the room, the interior of the shack was total chaos. After working my way through the jumble of broken furniture, loose floorboards, and other rubble, I finally reached the side of the oddly spotless and pristine bassinet, covered by a clean white blanket. Filled with apprehension, I removed the cover, revealing the perfectly formed skeleton of a baby, clutching a wedding ring in its right hand.
Something has my baby in that house and I can't get it back. There's a light. There's a light surrounding my baby and time I try to stick my hand into the light, it burns me. But it don't seem to be hurting him none. And there's a voice. A voice is coming out of the light, and it says, "Find the ring! Find the ring!" I looked everywhere. I ripped up the floorboards and I tore down the wallpaper, but I can't find no ring anywhere. And now, I am so tired. I am so tired. I don't know what to do except go look for help. But I might not be able to make it back to my poor baby. Dear God, I think somehow you wound up in hell. And I get the feeling it must be my baby's fault. But I don't know what he's done to deserve this. After scratching a shallow hole in the dry dirt of the ravine, I was about to dump the pitiful basket of bones into it when I noticed some words engraved on the ring. Deeply disturbed but compelled to continue, I brought the ring closer to my eyes and made out the words, "A mother's love erases rages. A mother's rage erases." But the rest was scratched out. Overwhelmed by feelings of fear, disgust, and confusion, I threw the ring and the baby skeleton into the hole. I quickly covered them with dirt and ran home. No one has ever believed my story. I've tried to convince myself that it must have been a dream induced by the instability of adolescence. I take comfort from that thought.
miles to the graveyard. Leave the best friend I ever had. To the grave. more miles to the graveyard. Leave the best friend I ever had. I don't know about you, but I believe in ghosts. It's true. It's true. They've always been there my whole life. They were, way back in the backs of the closets and under the bed. There was this guy. There was a guy named Red. He was a construction worker that I worked with on a 12-story building one time. One day, all of a sudden, blah, Red fell off the building. And I found his body, rearranged in a weird kind of a way. And from that time on, whenever I went up somewhere really high, like the edge of the Grand Canyon or top of the Dubai Tower, Red would suddenly appear, and he would talk to me in this really sweet, soothing voice and try to get me to jump. And then there was another time. There was another time when I was stuck in quicksand in Crossett, Arkansas, and this big, huge, giant, glowing ball just came down and landed right on my head. And inside of that big, glowing ball, it was all full of snakes and bugs and worms and the cut-off head of a train conductor. It was really weird in there. But worst of all are the mirror people. The mirror people! I'll tell you more about them later. I was lifted up high to a hole in the sky where God told me to dig. I found figures of pigs. He put his butchers to work with a competent clerk, executing those who had abandoned the truth. Then 4 faces appeared around the sides of a sphere, spinning over a throne made of amber and bone. The ball was covered with eyes, and as it started to rise, God commanded a clerk to take me back to the dirt.
with words harder than stone. His voice followed me home. Said he was coming to eat my cousins who were his
What's a woman going to do but throw away her bread? Her feet are feeling funny as she lies beneath the bed. She reminisces of the pungent Adriatic Sea. And then she crawls and counts her cans and twitches like a flea. What she really likes to do is sit upon a pew and make believe that time has stopped and motionless as me. Planes are stranded in the sky, trains are stopping too, and she alone is laughing on her eyelids full of flu. She hurries, scurries, worries that the wicked will receive their candy from a handsome man and coffee from a thief. She gazes at an hourglass and asks it if it cares, and then she wonders if the wizard likes his letters rare. Conspicuously alcoholic, flicks his tongue at me. Release me, lizard! Living lizard! Lizard to me! Most inside the sun, you still dare me to die! Dare me to die at home! Sticky cold, run, feel a lizard fly, and stop and fly. The mirror people! I always knew about the mirror people, but it wasn't really a problem until one day, not too long ago, I was in my bathroom shaving, and all of a sudden, I heard heard this voice. I heard this voice, and it said, "Hi, Randy. Hi, Randy. I want you." I said, "Pardon me?" And I looked around, but nobody was there. But I knew it was. And I walked right up to that mirror and I reached out my hand and I wiped it off, and there he was, staring at me.
It's only been 2 weeks since Howard died, so I guess I should be destroyed, a miserable wretch, shattered and scattered like the shards of a discarded whiskey bottle hitting the pavement. But I'm not. I'm not, you see, because nothing could be worse than watching him die. Nothing could be worse than watching a life you loved slowly sucked away like a spider draining the brain of a fly. Then he came back. Maybe it was only a dream, but he's been in every dream I've had since he died. And so what, I say? Who needs reality filled with grief when love lives in your dreams? In the past, dreams faded quickly, but since Howard died, they're like permanent movies living inside my mind. Every second of every dream is alive. It's mine whenever I want it. The first night was like a lamp lit in the blindness of a black and empty room. The flame of the lamp grew brighter and brighter until the room disappeared, replaced by his face, shining like the center of the sun. Arms emerged from each cheek, opening wide in an obvious invitation to the space between his large and blood-red lips. I freely fell into the opening and, once inside, easily embraced his heart. It was stuck to the top of his torso, where the nape of his neck might have been, and then it licked me with love and with laughter and made my mind twinkle and grin. The dream flowed on in its own loose and liquid way, filling my mind with a warmly glowing wetness that always equaled the essence of Howard. Rachel, my best friend, was waking me for Howard's funeral. I had slept for 18 hours. The heaviness of grief saturating the service was more than I could bear. But I had to bear it. It didn't matter how many times I broke down or how many condolences left the lips of family and friends. It never got any better. But somehow it managed to get worse. Just as the service was ending, I tripped at the edge of the dirt pile waiting to fill Howard's hole. And as I tripped, I bumped into Howard's mother, causing both of us to fall into the open grave, giving the grieving woman a perfect release for the venom and rage consuming her soul. As my friends and family looked on, my dead husband's mother hit me 14 times with her purse before I fainted into the waiting arms of my beloved. Continued on like that for the next 2 weeks as I slept a little longer and dreamed a little more each day. I made it 23 and a half hours yesterday, and now, with Howard's support, I think I'm ready. The doctors say it's medically impossible for a healthy person to sleep 24 hours a day, but Howard and I don't think so, and that's all that really matters.
wishing she could be a little piece of sand that blows above the ocean's breeze. But all she has is thoughts of all those figures peeling seeds and leaving them to mold among the women watching weeds.
Said little Ted was dead. I read in a letter today. The same for Monica's monkey, she said. Wiley it slipped away. Mr. Cuckoo has fallen asleep.
So the bars go and I went to bed. First my friend was with me, then my friend was good. All his clothes were burned up, and his times were red. After all we've been through, what more can be said?
The mirror people. The mirror people. The mirror people. They've got their rules. They've got their rules. The mirror people. If you walk into a room and you walk right up to that mirror and you look straight into it, they never talk. They never talk then. They're smart. And if somebody else is there in the room with you, they never talk then either. But they're there. They're there. They want you. They want you. They want to become you. My wife, Bonnie, she's one. She's one. sleep in the garage now. Once, when I was a kid, when I was just a little bitty kid, I went into a barber shop. I guess you can tell that I don't go in those places anymore. I hate them. But when I was a kid, I went in this barber shop and I sat in that big chair and I looked all around and I saw all of those mirrors. I got so scared I just jumped. And it made the barber stab himself in the cheek with his scissors. After that, my mom always cut my hair.
Next time you're stuck with a nasty affair in the house, make it furnish.
The unseen sister of Jax. The unseen sister protects. The unseen sister expected nothing from life. And so she asked from
When I was very young, I had a twin sister that no one could see but me. We lived in a farm without any neighbors, so she was my constant companion. For some reason, she liked to play tricks on my mother. These tricks were often mean, and even though I usually got the blame, I was unable to stop myself from acting her. Once we were playing under the kitchen table where my mother was sitting shelling peas. I grabbed her leg and said I wanted to play horsey as my sister placed a loop of clothesline around her ankle. Mother said no, and then she got up from the table, walked 2 steps, and tripped as she reached the end of the rope. As my mother fell, she knocked a boiling pot off the stove. It fell on her head. Even though it was July, she was cooking pasta in the shape of little green Christmas trees because it was my favorite. Mother's face was no more than 6 inches from mine as she screamed, jerked away the pot, and revealed the red bubbling face covered with little green Christmas trees.
Unseen sister objects. The unseen sister protects. The unseen sister objects. The unseen sister protects. The unseen sister protects. The unseen sister protects. Protects, 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 protects.
Mother was dead when I woke up. 7 years later, my father said that she'd become tangled in the cord of a toaster and electrocuted herself as she stumbled around the room, screaming in pain. I had a goldfish that died one time, too.
Sister objects. The unseen sister protects. The unseen sister objects. The unseen sister protects. The unseen sister expected nothing from life, and so she
people. The mirror people. The mirror people. Okay, all right. I know this mirror people stuff, it sounds kind of weird. You probably think I'm crazy. Okay, all right, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you right now. Wait. It's a mirror, mirror on the front, mirror on the back. Okay, all right. Now, get ready. I think you people way back there in the back, I think you're okay. You guys down here, with all the cameras, okay, well, you're gonna get yours. But I'm gonna get like right up next to this mirror, like 2 inches away. And I'm kind of scared. All right, get ready. Here goes. Hi, I'm Randy, Good Rockin' Randy, singer for The Residents. And over here we have the one and only Chuck on keyboards. And the fabulous Bob on guitar. Fuck Carlos. Guy was an asshole. Drum solo. Okay, all right, so now we have a couple of more songs for you. This next one is about a dear, sweet little old lady.
tonight. Tell me if anyone cares if I do what I might. Angel, answer my prayer. Tell me if anyone else knows how much I'm scared I might murder myself. My plans. My plans. If I do it, who will take care of my plans? Maybe Martha. Maybe Martha. She has a philodendron and a couple of ferns. They look terrible though. Just like her house. She never dusts her leaves. Berta's been married 3 times. How could she possibly take care of orchids? And if I do it, how long would it be before they notice? Weeks, months, and all that time my poor orchids being eaten by those aphids. I know why they ignore me. It was a long time ago. But they still hold it against me. He was old. Poor thing. He could barely hop around. Somebody had to do it. Somebody had to. Angel, answer my prayer and tell me if anyone else cares.
flashlight would deep it might bite. Like dice rolling snake eyes in headlights at night. Like a corpse in the sunshine, her eyes in a fight.
There's a spot. There's a spot. There's a spot on my glove. No. Maybe it was make 'em running. Make 'em running, honey. Doilies. Where are the doilies gone? Roses will wither and die, along with the lace in the eyes. Nothing is nicer than death, and matching the best. He hated me. He hated me, and hate is hot, hate is white. I'll not even have to stay for him, not even a stain on the memory of the doctor. Lacking all respect for him, I'm blacking out the specks of decent thoughts that linger in me, leaving only white, calm, peaceful, white swans, silently flying through the snow, looking down at the bleached bones of a noble knight who tried to save his lady, his lovely lady. She wanted to bring her man milk in the moonlight, but it was too late. He said.
Bury me not on the lone prairie. These words came slowly and mournfully from the bleeding lips of a youth who lay on his dying bed at the close of day. Darkness hovered around his head as the shadows of death grew thick like lead. He thought of his home and his family that night as the cowboys gathered to watch him die. Just 6 by 3. Oh, bury me not on the lone prairie. his voice stopped there. But we took no heed of his dying prayer. In a narrow grave, just 6 by 3, we buried him there on the lone prairie. Today. So what can they do? What can they do? What can they do today? Oh, what can they do? What can they do? What can they do today?
something weird.